Hello everyone. My name is Sarah, and today I want to share something very special with you. My favorite hobby and how it has helped me learn English. Reading books is not just a pastime for me. It is an exciting adventure that has opened the doors to new knowledge and improved my language skills. When I first started learning English, I faced many challenges. I struggled with unfamiliar words and felt nervous about speaking. However, everything changed when I discovered the magic of reading. Books became my silent teachers, guiding me through the complexities of the language. Today, I want to explain why reading is such a powerful tool for learning English and how it can help you too. Why reading is important. Reading is one of the best ways to learn a new language. It allows us to see words, sentences, and grammar in action without feeling like we are doing hard work. Instead of memorizing endless lists of vocabulary and rules, we can enjoy stories while naturally absorbing the language. One of the best things about reading is that we get to choose books that interest us. For example, I love adventure and fantasy stories, so I often read books like The Secret Garden and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. These books are exciting and they motivate me to keep turning the pages. The more I read, the better my English becomes. Expanding my vocabulary through reading. One of the greatest benefits of reading is that it introduces me to new words. Every time I pick up a book, I come across unfamiliar vocabulary. In the beginning, I had to use a dictionary often, but over time I started remembering the words naturally. For instance, when I read a story set in a forest, I learned words like tree, river, flower, and mountain. Now, whenever I see these words, I instantly recognize them. Sometimes, I don't even need a dictionary because the context of the story helps me figure out the meaning. For example, if a book says, "The little boy was very sad and cried," I can guess that sad means unhappy. This way, I build my vocabulary effortlessly while enjoying a good story. Improving grammar through reading. Reading also plays a crucial role in helping me understand grammar. By seeing how sentences are structured, I learn how to use words like is, are, was, and were correctly. I also observe how verbs such as run, walk, and play change in different tenses. For example, in one story I read, "The girl is running in the park. She runs every day." From these sentences, I learn the difference between is running, present continuous, and runs, simple present. This knowledge helps me when I write and speak in English because I have seen real examples of how grammar works in context. Enhancing pronunciation with reading. When I read, I hear the words in my head and try to imagine how they sound. Sometimes I say the words out loud to practice. For example, when I read a book about animals, I came across the word elephant. I didn't know how to pronounce it, so I listened to it on my phone and repeated it several times. Elephant, elephant, elephant. Now I can say it correctly. Reading helps me see words, and listening helps me pronounce them. Together they make my English better. How reading boosts my confidence. Before I started reading, I felt shy about speaking English. I was afraid of making mistakes. However, reading gave me confidence. When I read a book, I see how people communicate in English. I learn common phrases like "How are you?" "What are you doing?" and "Can I help you?" Now, I use these phrases in conversations, which makes me feel more confident because I know I am using the right words. For example, one day I met a new friend who speaks English. She asked me, "What do you like to do?" Because I had read this question in a book before, I understood it and was able to respond, "I like reading books." She smiled and we became friends. My favorite books for learning English. When I choose books, I make sure they are not too difficult for me. If a book is too hard, I feel frustrated, but if it is easier, I enjoy it more and learn faster. Here are some of my favorite books for learning English. Children's stories. Books like The Very Hungry Caterpillar and Goldilocks and the Three Bears are simple and fun. They have pictures that help me understand the story. Short stories. Short stories are great because they are not too long. One of my favorite short stories is The Lion and the Mouse. It's easy to read and teaches a good lesson. Comics. Comics like Peanuts and Garfield are funny and have simple English. The pictures help to clarify the meaning of words. Fairy tales. Stories like Cinderella and Snow White are magical and easy to understand. They also have happy endings, which I love. How I practice reading every day. I make reading a daily habit. Here's how I do it. Read for 30 minutes. After school, I take a book and read for 30 minutes. If I find a word I don't know, I write it in my notebook and look it up later in a dictionary. Reread my favorite books. I like to read my favorite books multiple times. Each time I understand more. Read out loud. Sometimes I read out loud to practice speaking and pronunciation. Ask for help. If I don't understand something, I ask my teacher or a friend to explain it to me. Why I recommend reading. I believe that everyone who wants to learn English should try reading. It doesn't matter if you are a beginner. Start with easy books and take your time. Remember, learning is a journey, and every book you read is like taking a step forward. Reading makes learning fun. It's like playing a game where you discover new words, ideas, and adventures. It also helps you feel more confident when speaking and writing. Reading is my favorite hobby because it teaches me new words, grammar, and how to speak confidently. Plus, it takes me on amazing adventures. If you want to learn English, I encourage you to start reading. Remember, every book is like a door to a new world. All you have to do is open it. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, make sure to check out our next topic, where we will help you practice your listening skills. Click here to continue your learning journey.